What's up, guys? I'm Mr. Normal, and we're about to watch some creepy and strange TikTok videos you probably shouldn't watch in that. With all that being said, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the video so it's recommended to others, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, let's get into the video.
In a gripping TikTok video shared by Spooky Moments, an ordinary scene quickly turns into a life or death situation. Seemingly captured on a security camera, the footage shows a person casually exiting a store with several bags in hand. Mere seconds after they step outside, the store is rocked by a powerful explosion. The blast sends debris flying, shattering the front windows and scattering rubble onto the street. Miraculously, the individual escapes unscathed, narrowly avoiding what could have been a devastating outcome. The dramatic video highlights how quickly routine moments can spiral into chaos. However, with limited details available about the explosion's cause or aftermath, this footage can only serve as a sobering reminder of how fragile and unpredictable everyday life can be.
That is so terrifying that can happen to anyone. You're just doing your laundry just randomly, and next thing you know, it just explodes. Glad the man made it out all right, and I hope nobody else was in the room when that happened.
Scientists just made one of the biggest discoveries ever, and people are losing their minds. So you've probably heard of hydrogel before, which, if you used to play with Orbeez or anything like that, that's what it's made of. And there's many other things that it is used for. Now, we all know the pain of getting a cut, or especially a bad injury or wound. What they do is they plaster it up, they bandage it up, and it's going to take quite a long time to heal, right? Depending on how bad the cut actually is, it can take anywhere from a month, 2 months, even up to a year if it's really, really bad. But scientists at the University of Bayreuth in Germany have just made one of the craziest discoveries ever. And I'm not joking when I say this is literally groundbreaking. What they've done is develop a hydrogel so advanced that it is paper thin, and somehow it mimics human skin. Yeah, in a number of ways such as flexibility and also taking on its healing capabilities. So this tiny thin sleeve that will be put on instead of like a bandage will now be able to heal wounds 90% in 4 hours and fully within a whole day, which is absolutely game-changing for the world. And once this becomes mainstream when they've done more testing, it's insane.
Bro, this is so sick. And this is also perfect for anyone that works like construction or works at a scrapyard or something that gets cut up a lot. This is perfect for that.
Basic Pennsylvania police hunt. Box demon in bizarre pre-dawn. Porch incident. Pennsylvania authorities have launched a manhunt for an individual linked to a chilling overnight encounter involving a masked figure dubbed the Box Demon outside a suburban home. The incident unfolded at 4:23 a.m. Tuesday, when a person wearing a hand-drawn paper plate mask, scrawled with the words, "I am the Box Steven," approached a residence in an undisclosed neighborhood. Security footage shows the figure declaring their title directly into the home's Ring camera, before placing an empty cardboard box on the porch and fleeing. Homeowner Sarah Wilkins told investigators she has no connection to the suspect or the container. Police confirmed the box contained no threats or identifiable materials, but are treating the case as criminal trespass. Forensic teams are analyzing the container and mask, which social media users noted resembles a third grader's art project gone wrong.
Leave this poor woman alone. What are you doing? I'll be honest, I don't know what gets into people to draw on a paper plate and just want to come up and freak people out through the Ring door camera. I don't know. Hopefully this dude gets caught, because this is just weird.
On February 7th of 2023, footage from a security camera was shared by Nicole White, who to this day has no idea what was captured. Nicole explains that the video was recorded when her brother and sister were setting up a surveillance camera inside her house. It was a gift for Nicole and her family, including her own brother, who was living with her at this time. But this may be the reason why the following happened. Nicole believes that her brother's collection of archaeological artifacts, like fossils and arrowheads, were all either cursed or haunted. Because she lived under the same roof as him, she no doubt believes that what was captured had some connection to those artifacts. Now in the video, Nicole's sister is using their brother as a point of reference for the camera when this is captured. It's no wonder why Nicole was terrified upon seeing this. Looking closely, a creepy, goat-like apparition appears over her brother's shoulder. It's there momentarily, before vanishing out of sight. Now, whether sharing the resemblance of a goat or not, there's no denying that a distinct outline of some figure is seen. But according to Nicole, if you look closely, you can make out a pair of horns and nails. This might be the reason why she compares it to the Goat Man, an urban legend about a creature who's both human and goat. While she isn't saying that it's the Goat Man itself, she is claiming that it's supernatural and believes that her brother's collection of artifacts is the reason for its presence.
I can't tell if that was a fancy editing trick. All I know is that brother needs to get rid of all that stuff. I'm letting you know right now, if that was me, I'm not staying in that house anymore. And I'm selling all this stuff or giving it to Goodwill to let it haunt someone else. Alright, well that was downright terrifying. I'm glad you made it out of there alright, my man. And at the same time, I hope you're wearing like a yellow or orange vest because I hear that there's gunshots in the background and I'm not trying to see you get hurt.
Y'all gonna learn today.
Yeah. We just left Chinese restaurant and my mom said this. Why this look like a rat? Look at the eyeballs.
Come on, man.
And everything in this. This is supposed to be sweet and sour chicken.
You sure?
I
told you.
I don't know.
Be careful.
It looked like a rat to me. What y'all think?
What was that? I told you guys, you better be careful what you eat out there. Because I used to eat this all the time, and I used to always wonder, why does it look like that? And then when you bite it, does it really? Oh, man. Shh, don't say it. I ain't gonna front. This does look very good if you make it at home. Every time I bought this and I bit into it, I always wondered, is this chicken? Of course it is. That's why when I go to the Chinese food restaurant, guys, I just get chicken wings and fried rice. You can't mess that up because you never know. What was that? Did you see that? And I always wonder, what is that red sauce? Huh? This video is for entertainment purposes only. I love Chinese food. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get some for dinner tonight. It's not a game. This is insane. And to think, they never eat the food that they sell us.
That is weirdly disturbing that it looks like a rat. But obviously, I feel like that's just because of the way the chicken was cut and the way it was breaded.
Here's one. Oh, yeah? Now he's an aircraft. It's the first time I've ever really caught one changing. Always had my suspicions. There's nothing blinks like that, dude.
Late at night, when a man named Taylor immediately takes out his phone to record something in his girlfriend's house. He's by himself, and for the first time, he's hearing what his girlfriend often hears at night, but never records on camera. At this moment, the sound of someone walking back and forth is heard from upstairs. The thing is, though, no one else is home except Taylor.
My front camera is smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
Eerily, the sound of charging footsteps is heard descending the staircase and heading towards Taylor. And as promised, he delivers. He lunges at whatever it was that was heading towards him. Although losing his balance upon doing so, he continues to record on the off chance that something else happens. Unfortunately, nothing does, but at least the sounds from earlier have stopped. Now, while most people tend to run away from paranormal occurrences, it is refreshing to see someone do something different. But as some believe, it might be best if he didn't confront the ghost in this house. Regardless, ghost or not, it is nice to see a different kind of reaction.
At first, it kind of sounds like the house is settling a little bit, but the noises sound like they keep happening in a pattern. I'm just saying though, I don't think giving it the 1-2 Mayweather's gonna work very well. So if I was you, I'll tell your girl it's time to pack up and go.
America has a new gun, and it's one that uses facial recognition and fingerprint scanners. It's called the BioFire Smart Gun. It's the first to actually hit the market, and it's more controversial than you think. You see, to try and push for more firearm safety, this gun only works when its registered owner scans their face or their fingerprint, and the gun locks and becomes unusable as soon as it leaves their hand. It's also trickier to build one of these than you think, because it's not just a gun with a fingerprint scanner slapped on the top. It's actually the first gun ever to not rely on a physical trigger mechanism, but rather it sends an electrical signal to fire the bullet, and it can only get that signal if it's in the owner's hands. But also because of that, it's roughly twice the price at $1,500. Gun control advocates think it's a great idea, saying at least it can't be used in the wrong hands like a child or a criminal. But some firearm enthusiasts not so keen. They fear that this technology could malfunction when you need it the most, or could be used as a slippery slope for more gun control laws over time. So the question is, what do you guys think? Is this the gun that America needs or not?
I can totally see where they're going with this, but I don't really know if this is a good idea because, like he said, like when I said the gun just doesn't work in that specific time you really need it. But on the other hand, I could see how it's really good for safety reasons. But I don't know. Please let me know what you think about this down below. Never. Okay, the video just cuts right there, but I had to show you this because this is absolutely insane. There is no amount of money that you could pay me for me to do this. But I definitely do want to know, how much are you getting paid, my sir, to do this? And with all that being said, would you do this?
You're not going to convince me this isn't a social experiment by nature to see how much f***ery they could get away with shoehorning into one animal. Platypus are built like a middle finger to the natural order. I'm not even finna waste time with what you already know. It's a duck cosplaying beaver with web feet that lays eggs as a mammal. They also produce milk, but since they're a mammal with no mammaries, instead they sweat it. So if you're a pug level platypus, you gotta get calories from mommy's arm crotch. Armpit. That sounded... I don't even know why I said that. My bad. They have no teeth. Instead, they use rocks as DIY dentures. They have no stomach. It goes straight down their gullet. Speaking of food, platypus swim blind and deaf, so they hunt using electroreceptors. Let it be known, they stole the shark's whole flow. Don't worry, it gets weirder. They have a 3-in-1 hole, literally one hole that serves every purpose, and apparently that was so fascinating that folks named their entire family reunion after it. Don't know what I mean? Well, after watching this, go and Google monitoring. Males have a venomous spur containing a toxin more powerful than morphine, as in if you get faded by a fedora warrior, you're basically cooked for months until the pain wears off, and yeah, it can take months. Their build nearly gave scientists a brain hemorrhage because the first ones to see it thought it was a hoax and that people stitched random animal parts together as a practical joke. Little did they know. Platypus have a 2-headed DNA hose covered in spines. Don't look it up. I did. I regret it. In late 2020, we found out this beaver-tailed identity crisis is bioluminescent. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Dan Povenmire came up with the idea for Perry in 1994, so either he or nature itself is memeing on us. Now I'm leaning towards Dan because you know what a platypus sounds like? And apparently we're supposed to believe that was a lucky guess too. With a track record like that, I wouldn't be surprised if he worked on The Simpsons. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but they're way smaller than I thought they were as a kid. Also, the babies are called Puggles, the more you know.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
See, now this is very, very dangerous, and I would absolutely do this as long as I know how deep it is. That was one crazy far jump, though. Great shot. I have a feeling those sounds were definitely added in. I'll be honest though, I don't know how he made that like casket like bang like that. All I know is I can see why this is shut down because this is insane looking.
Y'all, it's happening again. So if you don't know, I've been studying this phenomenon that we've been seeing, by the way, only in the United States, accompanied by really bad storms. It's about to get a lot weirder in 1 second. Like I've showed you in other videos, the same exact thing has popped up in multiple different states, always with a bad storm. Always the same exact colors, and no, it's not a transformer. Most of the time, these things are recorded in open fields when nothing else is around. Alright, remember how I said it's about to get weirder in 1 second? Check this out. Meanwhile, all this stuff is going on, the electronics in multiple cities have been going crazy and glitching. There's one video of so many, again, only in the United States. So what exactly is happening in the United States that brings a whole bunch of glitching in the sky, colors, and glitching with electronics? And not only is it electronics glitching and the sky glitching, Some of the biggest and some of the heaviest hail we have ever seen in the United States have been falling every single day, just piling up so deep. This isn't even the same video I showed you yesterday. So I guess my question is, what's happening in only America where only this stuff is happening?
And this is cloud seeding at its finest. I'm just saying, they're overdoing it a little bit, but like, look at the hail that came out of these clouds. And it does look like a transformer is constantly exploding. Okay, so I tried to do a little research on why the like clouds and all that are doing all the weird colors, and I can't really figure out why. So if you know, please let me know. But I think with the streetlights and all that, I think it's just like a power surge maybe.
Back in the summer of 2014, a man named Chris was biking in the mountains near Fernie, British Columbia, when he suddenly noticed what appeared to be an animal approaching him in the tall grass. Immediately, he realized it was a mountain lion, and that's when he started recording.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's a mountain lion. He's crouching in the grass. He's actually coming towards me.
At first, it's kind of hard to see where exactly the animal is, but as Chris walks towards the trail, you can see it emerging from the grass coming closer.
That is a mountain lion, and he's stalking me.
Even though mountain lion sightings are rare, they have been known to attack people in certain situations. And let's just say, if you see one stalking you in the tall grass, slowly approaching as it stares you down, you can be pretty certain that you're in danger. About 2 minutes into the footage, the lion starts walking a little faster, and Chris does the one thing you never do with a mountain lion by turning his back and starting to run.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am much bigger than you.
Over the next couple of minutes, Chris tries to get the animal to go away, but it only walks around him and continues to stalk him, staring him down in the tall grass near the entrance to the woods. A couple of minutes later, the uploader manages to take a few steps toward the main trail back to his car, but he doesn't get too far before the mountain lion cuts him off again.
Stay back. Stay there. I'm not afraid of you.
Fortunately, after a few moments of tension, the mountain lion turns around and disappears into the trees. Being in a position like that has to be downright terrifying, especially when you consider that the only reason the lion didn't attack was because it didn't want to. And had it felt more threatened, it easily could have done some serious damage. Thankfully, it was just a close call, and Chris was able to walk away from the terrifying encounter unharmed.
I'm so happy to hear that this dude made it out all right. I will be honest though, I wouldn't sit there and try to talk to him, because remember, he can't understand you. But I understand he was nervous, and that's the only thing he could do at the moment. I would get a rock or a stick. It probably won't do much, but hey, it's better than nothing. Alright guys, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching our clips with me today. And if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.